Hello, everybody. Once again, it's your boy Jeffrey Daniel here. Once again, I'm coming to you back in Abuja, Nigeria. Today is March 8th, 2021. Okay, and I'm always going to tell you that's according to the Gregorian calendar. It's the year 2021, according to them. Okay, anyway, you guys, I would like to greet you all. I'd like to thank you all for your continued support, especially those who checked in on me when you saw that one of my posts was taken down off of YouTube the other day, and we'll talk about that later. But for those who checked in on me and, just gave me your support and just showed me some love, I appreciate that very much. It's the first time I've ever had a post taken down, so that just makes me official. I'm legit now, because when you're speaking truth to power, there's a group from Gabon called Mauvaise. And the name of that group, Mauvaise means bad breath, because when you speak truth to power, they got to turn their head the other way. See what I mean? So when you speak that truth, it's got to, they got to turn their head the other way. They can't take it. Okay. So a shout out to Lord Ikomi Dong and Matt Lyon of Mauvaise. Am I pronouncing that right? They're out of Gabon, Africa, you guys. Powerful group, Lord Ikomi, much respect. So anyway, you guys, I like to give my disclaimer that anything I say and stand for is not meant to be discriminative toward any race, individual, or group of people. I am not a racist or a prejudiced person. And if my truth makes anyone uncomfortable, then you just been too comfortable for too long living in lies, and you should thank me for waking you up to the truth, to reality, okay? So that's my disclaimer there, you guys. It's very hot here in Abuja, so that's why I'm wearing my, it's very hot, okay. I'd also like to offer prayers to all of those who have lost loved ones to COVID or any other causes since we last spoke. Also, praying for Tiger Woods to make a full recovery. Now, he may not be on the golf course soon, but at least he still has life and survived a very horrible car crash that he was involved in. You know, when I first heard the news of Tiger Woods in a car crash and I first saw the footage of his car all banged up, I'm telling you guys, my heart just dropped, because it's almost the same time last year when we lost Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the other passengers in that helicopter, in that tragic helicopter crash. And I was like, oh my God, come on, not again, you guys, come on, not again. And I'm not really a sports fan myself, but you have to be living under a rock not to know who Tiger Woods is and not have been affected by his career. And he had overcome some injuries before, some back injuries or whatever, and he made an amazing comeback and won another Masters against all odds. If Tiger Woods never plays another golf game, he's still the greatest golfer in history. And he's the first ever billionaire athlete. He was the first athlete to earn $1 billion. So regardless to what he was still aspiring to do, because he wanted to be in the tournament coming up next month in April, but regardless to what he's aspiring to do, Tiger Woods has already made his mark. If he never plays another game again, he has made his mark in history. But we wish the best for him, and I hope he fulfills all of his dreams and aspirations. Okay, you guys? So what's up to him? Give a big up for Tiger Woods. And anyone else who's suffered any setbacks, health issues, any deaths, loved ones, friends, whatever, you guys, our prayers go out to everybody, okay? We're very empathetic people. That's who we are. That's how we do it, okay? All right. So before I really get into the other topics, I'd like to talk about the Asian hate crimes in America. Now, when you hear things like the China flu or the Kung Fu virus, that is the template that Donald J. Trump set for his citizens to follow. How can people be so ignorant? Asians born and raised in America are no more responsible for bringing COVID-19 into America than your own mama is. Okay? And even if they're not born in America, man, I mean, why am I even addressing this topic? It is so ignorant, juvenile, immature. I don't know. I tell you what, I'm telling you guys, run up on one of my Asian family members and watch me slap some COVID-99 upside your ignorant ass head. Dumbasses attacking helpless older Asian people. Whatever happened to that protection group? What did they call them back in the days? The guardian angels. They used to wear those red berets or whatever. Whatever happened to the guardian angels, you guys? Maybe we need to bring them back because this is getting ridiculous. You guys don't fall into the ignorance. You've seen it happen against other ethnic groups. Why would you join into something like that? Because of COVID-19, because of a virus or something, and start attacking Asian people as if they're responsible for bringing it in or something. This is just the mind of ignorant people, you guys. We got to be better than that as humans, okay, you guys? Now, as some of you know who tried to check into my last post, it was taken down because I brought up the subject of, can I say the word? Vaccines? Okay. Am I allowed to even say the word vaccine? Okay. I brought up the subject of vaccine. Now, as I always say, I do not advocate not taking vaccines. I don't ever tell people don't do it or don't do it. I just disseminate information about it. I am not a COVID-19 denier. I'm not one of those people who say it does. I wear a mask in public all the time. I always wear a mask in public. And I advocate wearing masks. I advocate taking precautionary measures. I never understood the oxymoronic term social distancing. Do you understand what the word social means? Social means as in a group, as in a collective. Distance means apart. How do you bring together social distance? Shouldn't it be called physical distancing? Think about that. We get catchphrases that we just run with it. We don't even think about it. But, okay, but I'm into practicing and observing social distancing measures and precautions, okay? I do, okay? So I am not a denier. I'm not bucking against it. But, so I won't even talk about the vaccines today, okay? What I will talk about is our immune system. Am I allowed to talk about that, you guys? The I word, the immune system? Okay. Irregardless of a pandemic or not, we have to take care and boost our immune systems. That's what's going to help you. I'm not saying opposed to the vaccines. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just boost your immune system and don't take the vaccines. I'm not saying that. Okay? I'm saying irregardless to whether there's a pandemic or not, if you take a vaccine or not, if you don't take it or not, irregardless to all of that, if you keep your immune system strong, it will help you to defeat all of the invading bacteria and viruses or whatever that comes into our body. Now, this is something heavier, which is COVID-19, and maybe it needs more reinforcement, okay? So that's what they're doing. So, but you know, vitamin D, vitamin C, there's zinc, there's broccoli, a host of other vegetables and supplements that helps to boost your immune. I'm not even talking about the pandemic and the virus. I'm talking about our immune system. That's what really keeps us going, you guys. And you have to keep your immune system strong, okay? Do that. Because they're not talking about that. They're only talking about the rollouts, but they're not instructing you to keep your immune system strong. It's going to help you against everything. Cancers. It'll help you against diabetes. It would help you against hypertension. And I mean, keeping your immune system strong is the key to your survival, okay? So that's what I want to tell you guys. And I'm not going to mention vaccines, okay? So hopefully this video will stay. Am I even allowed to talk about William Gates, Bill Gates? Am I allowed to talk about Bill Gates? What I said about Bill Gates, you guys, is the same guy who was campaigning for global population control is now the guy pushing for global vaccinations. Okay, now that's a fact. So it's not a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. Okay, now I'm only concerned about what he said in 2018. Bill Gates reportedly said, and I quote, "Rapid population growth in some African countries could put at risk future progress toward reducing global poverty and improving health. Population growth in Africa is a challenge." And I'm going, my God, a guy who came up as a computer tech geek is sitting in America scratching his head about the population in Africa? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Now, I don't want to talk too much about that, you guys, except for them saying that population growth in Africa is a challenge, and some African countries could put at risk future progress. Well, let me bring that into perspective for you guys. Mr. Gates, where do we get all the minerals that make wireless devices operate? Huh? Africa. So how in the hell is African poverty stricken if the world's greatest resources for all the AI and nanotechnology is coming out of Africa? The things that's supposed to drive our future. All these things are coming out of Africa, and they're calling it it's being mismanaged. It is far from poverty. In fact, Africa is some of the richest real estate on the planet. Okay? So get that through you guys, thick heads. Poverty-stricken Africa. Yes, there's poverty, but it's not because of lack of resources or lack of. It's because of mismanagement. Because of deals that they do with the West that are unbalanced. That the West is taking what they want from Africa and leaving the African leaders and economy and society with what? You know, so this is what we're dealing with. And that is the reason behind the results that they're talking about. So just don't come and present the results without even talking about how the results have gotten in that situation, okay? All right. Now, the only thing that I'm going to say about the vaccines, and I have to talk about this, you guys, okay? All right. I have to laugh at the Japanese foreign ministry because they had to send a very strong warning to China for making Japanese visitors to China bend over and take an anal COVID swab test. Yes, in their ass. It appears they had the American diplomats bend over and take one too. So now that's pretty intrusive as well as embarrassing. Ain't nobody going to violate my booty for no COVID test. So are they saying COVID-19 can now be spread by farts? I mean, what? If somebody farts and the fart aerosol goes into the air and you sniff their fart and you'll get COVID-19? I don't know, you guys. That sounds like a new variant to me. I mean, think about it. If we wear a mask and they say that the mask can stop the spread of the virus, which means the virus is in our saliva, why don't they just swab the saliva? Why would they want you to bend over and swab their butts for? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Check up on it, read about it yourself. I wish I had the PowerPoints and I can play the video or something on the side. I'll learn how to do that one day, you guys. And because some of you guys ain't gonna believe me, but it's true. They had to send a warning. The Japanese government sent a warning to China to stop making our Japanese tourists and visitors to China come to the airport, take them in a room, bend over and swab their booty and calling it a COVID-19 test in the booty. I don't know, you guys. I ain't ready for this world. Okay, so just don't book any flights to China no time soon until you guys know that it's safe, okay? All right. So the name of this post is really called The Untriumphant Return of Trump. That's what I'm going to talk about. The Untriumphant Return of Trump. Okay, you guys, so Trump has finally poked his head out last week at a rally to announce he's back. After losing the 2021 presidential elections, then trying to prove that the votes were stolen, having over 50 court cases thrown out due to lack of any form of evidence to support his false claims of fraudulent voting activities, then inviting the nation's most notorious extremists and hate groups to the Capitol on the same day and the same time that President Joe Biden's electoral votes were being certified, and causing the worst insurrection in U.S. history, storming the Senate building, almost capturing the members of Congress and killing 5, including Capitol Hill police security men. He still contends that the elections were stolen and he's the real winner of the 2021 elections. Now, there's a reason why I'm going through this, you guys. So hang with me, okay? Stick with me. And the newest lies from the Republican lawmakers is, It was really the Black Lives Matter and Antifa members storming into the citadel of democracy, pretending to be Trump supporters. Now you see, they are already holding arrested members of QAnon, Proud Boys, and other extremist group members in custody as we speak, and holding them for trials. You just can't make up lies and try to save your own asses now. These guys, from their own admissions, are members of these extremists or hate groups. So how do you come along? Excuse me. Sorry about that. How do you come along now and say, oh no, they weren't really members of those groups. It was really the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa members disguising themselves as hate groups. Come on, you guys. Come on. Please. I know you Republicans are having a hard time. I know your leader has totally split your party up into different fragments, and you guys are trying to get your way back to wherever, but you just can't make up things. You keep telling a lie until it becomes a truth, because that's what the precedent that Trump set. Keep telling a lie until it becomes a truth. Keep telling a lie until it becomes a truth. And that's where we're at today, you guys. And people who come out and we tell the truth and we try to give you guys real perspective and information, we're in trouble. So, okay. So, I told you guys before, I always think outside of the box. My perspicacity is always on point. I like to get a bird's eye view of the entire situation. I don't act on sentiment when it comes to dealing with empirical facts and concrete evidence. Facts speak for themselves. I told you all before to be mindful of Trump's attempt to remain in politics and try to make a return, didn't I? I told you guys this before. And what's happened? He's returning. I told you it was the same exact situation with Adolf Hitler after he was jailed for trying to overthrow the German government. And upon his release, he went and gathered the extremist groups and formed his Brown Shirt Party, which became the Nazi Party. And look what he and Nazi Germany became. Does this not look like deja vu to you guys? In 1933, Hitler was appointed the Chancellor of Germany after his rebound from his disgraceful fall. Rebound from a disgraceful fall. He commenced to smashing Germany's democratic institutions, transforming Germany into a war state intent on conquering Europe for the benefit of the so-called Aryan race. Make America what again? Aryan race. Make America what again? Okay, listen now. They targeted Jews, Slavs, homosexuals, and Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't know. Doesn't it sound like the QAnon, Proud Boys, Tiki Torch, and other extremist groups' agenda? They go after the Jews, they go after homosexuals, and other ethnic people. I don't know about Jehovah's Witnesses, you guys. I don't know how that got thrown in the mix. I don't know. So anyway, but come on, you guys. Look at what's going on. Donald J. Trump, the same man who said I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and they'll still support me. Maybe his perspicacity was on point too. History is trying its best to repeat itself and drag your asses down a dark abyss, and all you guys worry about is who's winning the Super Bowl, who's receiving a Golden Globe Award for acting, and you're all giving Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's booties millions of hits on social media, but barely tuning into a message that can save you and your loved ones' asses. I'm not knocking those people now. I'm not knocking them. I'm just questioning your priorities and awareness of what's about to happen to you and your family if that man succeeds. If he succeeds, you guys. You guys have to wake up and be aware. I told you guys before, it only takes one charismatic leader and a pocket of followers to steer an entire nation in the wrong direction. No, Trump is not nowhere near a great orator, but his vile and offensive rhetoric that he continues to spew resonates within his staunch supporters. That's what's going on. Is he still the leader of the Republican Party? In his mind, he is, I told you guys, he's solipsistic. He suffers from solipsism. So in his mind, he's still the president and he's still the leader of the Republican Party. Or has the Republican Party fallen out and fallen apart trying to reassemble itself? All these things are yet to be seen, you guys. Let me give you guys a good example of how my perspicacity worked. While you all were looking on horrified as Republican members on Congress voted to acquit Trump for causing the worst insurrection in American history, I was looking behind the curtain and I saw that little Wizard of Oz standing on an apple crate, pulling all the strings and levers and pushing all those buttons. I feel the reason they didn't charge Donald Trump and convict him is because they know how strong a hold he has on his most fanatic supporters. They went on the road with Donald Trump to all of his rallies, and they saw firsthand how fanatic those people are. They saw the bloodthirsty eyes and heard the blood-curdling screams of hatred and dying support for Trump's most offensive policies and speeches. Now, I'm sure some members of the Republican Party was wondering, how in the hell do we get ourselves into this mess, and how do we get out of it? Trust me, some of Hitler's closest men were trying to assassinate him when they saw how dangerous he was becoming also. So you guys have to understand, not all the Republicans were on board with Trump's ideology, but they are members of the Republican Party and trying to support their party. But I think the smart ones in the group, they knew what to do. Because the smart Republicans, they know how to work the system and play it safe. So no, they themselves don't dare stand against Trump like the Magnificent Seven Republican Congress members. The Magnificent Seven Republican Congress members who stood against him and got called out and attacked by Trump's supporters. No, they acquit Trump now and wait for the civil law cases to take his ass down. Trump is now inundated with a plethora of legal cases stemming from unpaid debts, bankruptcies, sexual assault charges, unpaid legal fees, and the list goes on and on until the break of dawn. It goes on and on and on. And this is the man who just got kicked out of the White House. So once Trump gets convicted of charges in his civil lawsuits, he's no longer eligible to run for political office, and their hands are clean, and they still have Trump supporters under their wings. Now that's what I call gangster. That's what I call that gangster. Those Republicans are saying, okay, you guys, wait a minute. Trump's people are too strong behind him, so we can't just go out and take him down because his supporters would take us down. So what we do is just lay back and play it safe and let the civil law cases that are against him, because now that he's out of the White House, he's losing his diplomatic immunity, he's now a civilian, he's going to get caught by those civil cases. Out of all those cases, I'm sure at least one of them is going to get him convicted, if not two, if not three, but at least one of them. It only takes one to get him convicted. He's no longer eligible to run for political office. I think that's what they're doing, you guys. I think that's what they're doing. So you see, you have to look through the smoke glass mirror, no matter how opaque it may seem, and you will find the hidden agendas. Those Republican lawmakers are just waiting for the court cases to disqualify him from their political party. Now, let's all sit back and see how the ball bounces, or how hard the ball hits us if this man finds a way to succeed. Now, thinking forward, I'm just wondering, I've been pondering this for a while. How much longer will humans feel a need for political leaders to govern our lives? Who knows, maybe in a few hundred years from now, there will be no more presidents or governors or senates. After all, they've only been in existence since the Roman Empire, and that's not long at all on the human history timeline. Look back on history, you guys. That's what started the Senate and the Republic and all this stuff. That started with Rome. So that in human history, that's still a new concept, a new paradigm to follow to help run people by. Do we need somebody? And I'm not saying that, here, let's be anti-government. I'm not saying that, you guys, but I'm just saying, look at the world. If you take a globe of the earth and spin it and just stop it anywhere, just spin it fast and stop it anywhere, political rest is happening everywhere. You can't just say, oh, it's Nigeria, or it's Argentina, or that's in the Middle East. It's America, it's the UK, it's France, everywhere, you guys, right now, everywhere. So We got bigger things to worry about than Trump. And he's kind of like at the bottom of my list of things to worry about, but he's still a concern. No doubt, he's still a concern, but not that high on my list to worry about. Right now, I'd like to talk about our planet. Do you all know that we are all on a collision course with destruction? If our societies continue on the same course we're currently on, this entire planet and life as we know it will exist no more. I'm sure the earth will rejuvenate itself and start over again, but will we be part of that script? I don't think so. The strange thing is, we are all allowing a small group of people to control the world as we know it. We work for the industries, and we are willing to accomplices to their crimes against humanity and nature. Excuse me for fumbling over. It's hot. Let me get something to drink, you guys, because it's hot in here. And hold on just 1 second. I'll be right back. That was quick. That was quicker than the Flash. That was quicker than Tony Stark. Okay, anyway. Okay, you guys. So, we're all willing accomplices to the crimes against humanity and nature. It's become a normal part of life to continue to pollute our environment and poison our bodies with chemical-laden foods. Now, check this out, you guys, and I'm sure some of you have seen this. They're now opening up the Amazon Go store. Have you guys heard of those? It's a staffless store where you just walk in, pick up what you want, and walk out, while the sensors and cameras read everything that you've picked up or put back onto the shelves. But the point is, there's no human interaction with any checkout counters. Now, I'm just thinking, when did I ever petition that I wanted a world devoid of humans? And when will we see, we see these things being advertised on TV and we think, wow, it's the future. It's so cute. Yes, the future, all right, a future without you in it. Exactly who has the power to make such calls to alter our societies tailored fit to their society, to their fantasies? And this is what we're doing, you guys. We're allowing somebody to come up with some brainstorming booty move and just think, yeah, let's put this. And we just sit back and go, wow, that's cool. And we just follow to our own detriment, to the detriment of nature, to the detriment of the continuation of life as we know it. And we're just following while these people are making profits. I don't know. They've like completely turned us into sheeple. We're just following. We're just following. I do a good sheep, don't I? Okay. So anyway, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This is crazy. So the plan is to decrease the human population and replace us with AI technology to reduce the human workforce. So that thing that you call in a job that helps pay your bills and supports your life financially, they do not want you to have it anymore. Which brings the question, what is going to happen to all the unemployed people in society who are not extremely wealthy? Maybe that question is kind of rhetorical, but at the end of the day, look where they're going with this, you guys. You guys think it's convenient. Oh, that's convenient, man. We don't need no staff. We just walk in there and do this and that and that. What happens when your job doesn't require staff? What happens when they turn everything over? And another thing that you have to be careful about, all this 5G technology, AI technology, it sounds convenient that, you know what? I can operate my car from my mobile phone. I can open my house from my mobile phone. I can control this from my mobile phone. Don't you understand when everything goes to one source, it just takes somebody to hack into it, or the powers that be to click a switch, and you ain't got nothing. They will stop you from shopping, buying, traveling, entering, exiting, everything. You'll just be left there sitting there with your own COVID-19 fart. I don't know, you guys. This is where it's going, and we're supporting it. Like I told you before, Bill Gates, he's a computer tech. But now he's running, you know that Bill Gates is buying up all the farmlands in America because they want to do all this GMO food production. Bill Gates is buying up a lot of farmland in America. Also, Bill Gates had a meeting with the Harvard University professors about putting sulfur particles into the upper stratosphere to try to deflect the sunshine to help and stop global warming. I don't know who died and made certain people king of the world, but this is where we're at, you guys. This is where we're at, you know. So the only way, you know what, I'm about to say something that's very, very profound and very provocative. So I advise you people who are too sensitive or too weak in the stomach to excuse yourself now before I go in, because I'm about to go in. I'm taking off my gloves and I'm going to go in on this, okay? But it's the God honest truth. And I just have to come out and say it if no one else does, okay? And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I hope you can roll with me on this. The only way out of imminent destruction of our planet is to return our planet back to the original caretakers of this earth. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, just listen and think about it for a minute. Western industrialization, technology, weapons, recreation, transportation, and methods of agriculture and way of life is toxic to nature. Let me say that again so you guys understand it. Western industrialization, technology, weapons, recreation, transportation, and methods of agriculture and way of life is toxic to nature. Now, before any of you people in the Western world and Europe and, you know, in the Western world, they think, you know, yo, man, you know, what's up? You know, why, what you blaming on us? What you putting on us? You know, why are you attacking us, you guys? No, I'm not attacking individual people. I'm talking about the system. You know, I don't like to use the misnomers like white people, black people, but, you know, for the sake of argument, that's where, you know, that's how we communicate. I don't like the misnomers myself. And someone accused me of being a divisionist, pitching people against each other, because I always say, you guys, about the misnomers, about the endonyms, about the exonyms. I explained that to you guys very, very explicitly. And I'm telling you guys how they created this caste system for us to give ourselves to categorize ourselves and point. I didn't create this. I didn't come out calling people white and black and stuff. It's not my creation, but it's for the sake of argument. But, you know, you guys, when I talk about things, I'm not attacking individual people. I'm talking about the system itself. If I say white people, I'm not talking about every white person walking the earth. I'm talking about that system that the Europeans created. The European system, or that white system, or the black system, you know? I say things about black people too. I'm not talking about Willie and Bobo down the block and whoever, you know. I'm talking about, you know, a generalization, okay? Unless I'm speaking on, unless I'm speaking on a specific person, okay? All right, okay. So this is not a racist point of view or comment. It's a reality that we're also caught up in, that it seems that no one can pump the brakes on this system long enough to get our butts out of it. But it has already been scientifically agreed that we are all heading towards certain doom. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. All these Save the Whales and Greenpeace organizations might mean well, but they're just a drop in the ocean when you look at the overwhelming task we have before us. If we are to try and reverse the damage that has been done to our planet's ecosystem. You guys, can we just stop using fossil fuels suddenly? I don't think so. Or stop cooking with natural gases? Or shut down factories that spew out billions of metric tons of pollution daily? And to think it's all profit driven. People are destroying our beautiful earth just so that they can make a financial profit and live on a more grander scale than the average person. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, you guys. When you think about it, it's sickening. We allow a huge portion of humanity to live under the poverty line in order for us to live above it. Even if we're not directly responsible for it, but our daily lives and participation are inadvertently perpetuating this system of selected greed. But why? Because they told us to? Because it's just the way the world is? No, it's just the way these few that are controlling us made the world. And anything that has been made can be unmade. You know? It's a funny thing. When I was in Beverly Hills some years back, this is some years back, I was in Beverly Hills. I'm from Los Angeles, so I was in Beverly Hills. And I saw a very expensive car. I forgot what it was. Maybe a Rolls Royce or Bentley or a Ferrari, whatever it was. It was a very expensive car. And it had a license plate. And they had a license number, of course, but on the license plate, it read, "He who dies with the most toys wins." And isn't that ironic? On a very expensive car, it had a license plate that read, "He who dies with the most toys wins." And that's the biggest yacht. Oh, he's got a 200-yard yacht. He's got a $17 million home. He's got a $20 million home. He's got a $100 million home. He's got 17 bedrooms. He's got a Bugatti, $3 million for a Bugatti. He's driving a Bugatti. He's got a Phantom, whatever. I don't keep up with cars, you guys like that. So yeah, whatever. The Phantom Rolls Royce or the Phantom something, Bentley or whatever, I don't know. Materialism. We're just living, we're neglecting our planet and nature that sustains us, for materialism. That's where we're at, you guys. We moved out of villages and countryside where food grows to live in these big cities where food has to be brought into markets and to restaurants. And now the Amazon Go market is coming up. Then being subjected to living in overcrowded areas to sustain the dirty city life. And because we're keeping up with all the latest fashions and material possessions, we think this is living the good life. Over the next couple of decades, if we're not on the road to global environmental recovery, we might as well kiss the baby goodbye. I'm afraid. You see, if we don't start doing it now, in this generation now, which the next generations have always started to come up, but if we don't start it now, start correcting it, that's it, finish. But if we start now, then the next generation could take over, and the generation after them and down, then we can get things back in order. But we have to start, you guys. You know, stop talking about global warming and this and that, and you know, it's good to talk about it. It's good to do campaigns and put up posters and stuff. But why, if they know that by the year 2030 or 50 something, there's going to be more plastic floating in the ocean than fish, why are they still producing plastics to be thrown away? They need to come up with a way to we can reuse and recycle things rather than throwing things away. If they know the results of what they're doing, why aren't they finding ways to prevent it? Prevention is the best policy, you know, not just going after the effect and trying to put a Band-Aid on it after it's done. Prevention, okay? Now, speaking of kissing the good baby goodbye, the planet Earth, are we supposed to be applauding and getting our patties in a bunch just because they landed some cameras and a drone on Mars, while our beautiful home planet Earth is in dire straits? Our own oceans, which Mars doesn't have, our wildlife, our forests, which is our source of oxygen, which Mars doesn't have, our plant life and human life, all of which Mars does not have, is being decimated here and now in real time. Mars is a lifeless rock, while Earth is teeming with creation, procreation, and all manners of recreation. And we're supposed to ignore our responsibilities to Earth to be investing all this interest in Mars, which is 33.9 million miles away from us. Mars' atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, and just traces of oxygen. And it's losing its paper-thin atmosphere as time goes by. And Mars' atmosphere is only 1% of Earth's atmosphere. 100% to 1% of Earth's atmosphere. Mars is only half the size of Earth, and its soil is pre-chlorate salt, which makes it unsustainable to grow plants. So, listen, especially you youngsters. I want you youngsters to listen to this, because I've been there before. okay, with these so-called scientists and whatever, space programs. When I was growing up in the 60s, they told us that by the year 2000, that we'd be taking weekend camping trips to the moon and colonies would be planted on the moon. And we all fell for it. We were so, at one point, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was young because, that was the age of the rockets and all these things coming. And, supposedly they went to the moon in 1969. We were in a space race with Russia. All these things were going on when I was growing up. And they said by the year 2000, we're going to have flying cars, which some people are working on now. But they said that we would have colonies on the moon and we can go to the moon for a weekend vacation and kick back and look back at the planet Earth and go, wow, look at that blue marble. That's our home. All these things were being promised back in the 60s. Now the new carrot in front of the horse is Mars, okay? So it's 2021 and they're still just landing unmanned junk on the moon. So this promise of this promise of terraforming Mars to make it suitable for human habitation is just another puff of smoke being blown up a new generation's bum. Do not believe the hype, you guys. Common sense tells us that if you really wanted to try and build or settle on Mars, wouldn't they have a couple of practice runs on the closest celestial body? The moon. It's only 238,000 miles away. It only takes relatively 3 days to get there. Mars takes about 3 months to get to. And I really respect the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. I really respect him because he talks so realistic about it, because he goes, once you go out there and you leave Earth's gravitational pull and you're out into the open space, one mistake and you're dead. There's no backup plan. There's no Stuckey's truck stop, or there's no, mobile gas station or something that you can pull into or call. You're out there, you're on your own. As they say in the movie Aliens, no one can hear you scream. One mistake. And you guys have to understand something else. Most of the space projects have been failures. Do you guys understand their ratio of failure to their successful programs? Look at the space shuttles that have blown up on takeoff, disintegrated on return to the Earth's atmosphere. Just the other week, I don't know what private rocket company it was, but they did a practice run and it was successful. And they're doing these rockets that can land, instead of landing in the ocean, that they can come and land back on their bottoms again. And it did a successful landing. And a few seconds later, it exploded. When you guys really look at the space program, it's not so easy like, hey, you guys, we're just going to go to the rocket and we're going to go to Mars. Or there's so many things, so many risks. Radiation, being exposed to radiation, being without the proper amount of gravity that our bodies have been so accustomed to, being in Earth's gravity. Once you come out of that gravity, now your blood is not flowing in the same manner. Organs in your bodies are not operating in the same way, being in a weightless atmosphere. So these are all these things to take into consideration. Plus, I don't have anything small around here. Let me take my ring. If something this big hits your spaceship and pierces it, you're in trouble. They cannot chart all the junk that's drifting and floating in space. So there's so much stuff out there floating around. It just takes one of those things to hit your spaceship and you're gone. So, and I'm not a pessimist. I'm not pessimistic about going to Mars and all that stuff. All I'm saying is, if we haven't got it right here and we are decimating this planet, then why are they even thinking about and contemplating going to it? Okay, I think I just answered my own question. Because they're destroying this one, they're looking for somewhere else to go. Okay, maybe that's what it's all about, you guys. And as I said in the older post, the human psychic mentality, if we can't get along here on Earth, do you think traveling to another planet is going to suddenly, mysteriously, miraculously make people just feel euphoric with each other? Oh, we're on Mars. I love thy brother. I get along with you. Oh, isn't this lovely? What do you think they're going to be doing up on Mars? Same thing that they're doing here on Earth. fighting over class structures, fighting over racial things, fighting over territory. This is what these people do, and that's why they're on their way to Mars. Okay, that's why they're even thinking about Mars. That's why they're even talking about Mars. You know, so common sense tells us that if you really want to try and build or settle on Mars, you would do it on the moon first to show that it can be done. Why would you just overpass the moon and just try to do it subtly on a place that's so far away from us and much more dangerous? That's not making sense. And they're supposed to be smarter than us. So if I can figure this out, I'm sure that they know this, okay? So Conversation Mars has just been shut down as far as I'm concerned. If you have not put a KFC, a Waffle House, or a McDonald's on the moon yet, please don't talk to me about Mars. Please don't even talk about it. Because it's not making sense. We're going to go 33.9 million miles away, but we haven't done it 238,000 miles away yet. Think about it, you guys. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Can I say the vaccines are being rolled out and people are taking the vaccines, and it seems like, you know, I was skeptical about it at one time too, because you don't know about it. You know, all this stuff is new to us. The mRNA injection and all these things are new to us. So people are confused. People are scared, but it seems like they're making ground with it, and this is the way to go. So this is the way the future is going. So let's just all try to do the best that we can for ourselves and for our society, okay? Can I say that? Oh, they won't take me down for saying that, will they? Okay, all right. And I'm not angry at YouTube for taking me down, you guys. Don't get me wrong, because I know this system is so inundated with falsities and fake news and all these things that are coming out. So, you know, things are very sensitive now. So I can understand them scrutinizing what's being said and what's going on. They're just trying to protect society, you guys. So, you know, let's give a hand to our people at YouTube and Facebook, because they, you know, they're at least allowing us a platform to be heard, okay? So you guys, and hopefully one day I'll create my own platform, okay? Did I say that? Okay, so take care of yourselves, make love great again, spread the love, check in on each other, check in on your loved ones, make sure that no depression is setting in, because depression is real. This thing is going into our second year of lockdowns, uncertainties. COVID-19 is still here. New variants are coming out. So we don't even know what to think. You know, we don't know how soon it will be until we can get back to some kind of normalcy. But until then, you guys, let's be strong with each other and for each other, okay? Because we all need each other, okay? We all need each other, all right? Okay, take care. I love you all very much. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for riding with me. And we'll all be cool. You guys like my muscle? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that muscle. Look at that. Bang, bang. Look at that. Bang, bang. Okay, all right. Sorry. All right. Settle down. Settle down. Okay. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.